I had to wait until 5 o'clock in the morning to get to Bristol because I had to get a lift up there, so I couldn't afford transport, so I had to wait for my nan to wake up.
The NHS is a wonderful national treasure, but at the moment we're all worried, we're falling apart. I am waiting now for my flu jab.
Somebody's going to die going up to Bristol or down to Taunton.
My name is Terry Hutt, a campaigner who believes in fighting back. The hospital belongs to us. NHS came in years ago and I was about when it weren't then. They're talking about politicians and money and privatisation, and they're forgetting the people who pay for it, and that's us. I'm a spokesperson for pensioners and disabled people, and if anybody needs help, I'll try and help. It means everything in the world for everybody to have this A&E. I'm there to win it, of course. I don't give up. And I think even the chief executive knows that. But I've got to have meetings after Christmas with certain people, and I'm watching the government change over. And if that happens, I know I'm there for a winner.
I think with someone like Terry Hutt, why he's campaigning when he's in his 80s, I'm getting on myself. It's because people like him have seen what it's like from before and after the NHS. Before the NHS came into existence in 1948, life was really tough for people. If you didn't have any money, you were on the panel and you had to pay to go to a hospital, pay to see a doctor. The result after 1948 was that people felt for once they didn't have to pay for healthcare. They could relax. They're not like the American system where people have been turned away, however ill, because their credit card wasn't good enough to pay for their treatment. And I think Terry must see that as an elderly man, and he must also realise that grandchildren, children and grandchildren are going to suffer terribly from what's happened to the NHS. My name's Steve Timmins, and I'm one of the kind of coordinators of the Save Western A&E group, and I also work with Protect Our NHS, which is another organisation which has been going since 2012, when we learnt about the depredations about to occur from the Conservative-led coalition government. I think Terry Hutt's a star. He is the person that in Western everybody recognises. He is the kind of focal point on any march, any campaign. The press always see him. He's got his photograph taken. He's the kind of person you really need to try and lift Western residents out of their apathy about what's happening to their hospital.
I'm being told it's going to close temporary in the beginning, and then it goes on, and I'm hearing different stories. Now they're talking about closing it for good. I'm really concerned now. So I actually do go to Parliament. I go after the Health Minister and everybody else. And nobody can give me a straightforward answer. They make excuses after one and the other. They tell fibs after each other. And I don't get the full story. But by doing what I do, I'll keep the campaign going by being there. And I'm there to win, of course. I don't go to lose. What's the point in having a good hospital down there and having to go elsewhere? Elsewhere is chock-a-block. Even in Bristol, they can't actually cope with their own people. Forget us. They've got to carry on in Bristol. Again, when you go to Taunton, you've got the same problem. So where everybody talks about cuts and promises are made, there's more money being poured into the NHS, where's it going?
The CQC, the Care Quality Commission, they're set up by the government to investigate whether hospitals and care homes are safe and working properly. In the case of Western General, it's very like they're an accountants doing an audit. They're able to tell you what's happened in the past, but not what's happening in the future. They're also working in a way which makes it impossible for people to do their job, because they're saying if it's not safe, there are not enough staff, then they have to close it overnight or close it at certain times. This is not really very fair on people, because the whole of the NHS is under-financed and understaffed.
On this, Weston has about the same population as Bath. We should have the same facilities. It's a holiday resort, so our population is bigger. Two things we should have is a A&E department and a, word's gone at my age, operating theatre. If we have nothing else, we should have those two.
I came out of the tree and fell straight to the ground. And funny enough, it was hailstones, storm, and I was laying on the grass. And my little girl come running up, granddad hurt herself. And as far as it goes, the kids thought I was bleeding from inside because I was sucking my thumb where I damaged it. Rushed me up to Adam Brooks. They looked at me, x-rayed and everything else, and then they found out I had cancer, cancer of the kidney. They decided a few weeks after that they would remove it, and I'm still here, of course. So I'm walking around with one kidney. I still got my brain. People come and go. They feel sorry for me, I think, sometimes, and they offer to help. But as I say, sometimes it's raining or cold. They're there for a short time, but they mean well, you know, to try and help. I think a lot of people have gave up. There's the old school, which is me and other people still alive. Carry on. It's the old school that keeps it going.
Have you ever got in trouble?
They call me trouble. Even in Parliament, they warn me before I even go in.
What do they say to you?
Behave yourself.
What have you done?
Again, I do all sorts of things. But as my wife says, it's nothing to be proud of, but I make sure that people know we're there.